Hello everyone, welcome to the 5-Minute Discovery Channel. Possessing sunny beaches and clear blue seawater, the island nation of Tuvalu only welcomes about 2,000 tourists each year. This paradise island still maintains its purity and has never recorded a case of COVID-19 infection, giving visitors a feeling of peace and tranquility. With sun-drenched beaches and mesmerizing turquoise waters, this is the ideal destination for rest and relaxation, completely remote from commercialized tourist destinations. Let's explore together the special beauty of the island nation of Tuvalu, where time passes slowly and excitedly. And let's start today's story. Before entering the content, remember to like and subscribe to support the channel. Tuvalu overview. Tuvalu, also known as the Ellis Islands, is one of the most remote countries in the world, located between Hawaii and Australia, east of the Solomon Islands and north of Fuji. With hundreds of large and small islands, from coral reef areas to majestic jungle areas, Tuvalu stands out with a total land area of only 26 square kilometers. The modest population of this island nation, only about 12,000 people, which is less than half of my vineyard, lives mainly on 5 main islands, including the capital Funafuti. Tuvalu's history is a story of survival and human adaptation. This land has been inhabited since about 3,000 years ago, before Europeans arrived and named it Ellis in the mid-16th century. Because of its remoteness and isolation, Tuvalu has long considered one of the places least influenced by the outside world. In the late 19th and early 20th centuries, Tuvalu became a British colony. However, in 1974, the island's residents decided to vote for independence and split into two parts, one part becoming the nation of Kiribati. The Ellis Islands later changed their name to Tuvalu, and in 1978 officially became independent. Tuvalu is not only a small country on the map, but also a symbol of the perseverance and will of the people living in the middle of the vast sea. The natural beauty here, from tropical coral reefs to uninhabited beaches, makes everyone who comes here feel like they're lost in a true paradise, where time passes slowly and peacefully. Flag of Tuvalu. The national flag of Tuvalu, one of the important symbols of the country, has undergone many changes and has a deep significance in its history. Previously, on the Tuvalu flag, you could see the British Union flag placed in the top left corner, representing historical ties with Britain. However, the blue color on the Tuvalu flag is different from either the Australian or New Zealand flags. Originally, the flag had 9 stars, each representing the 9 major islands of Tuvalu, arranged according to their exact geographical location. However, in 1995, one of these stars was removed. The reason for this is because Tuvalu means 8 islands together, so the decision was made to reduce the number of stars to 8 to better fit this meaning. In 1997, the old flag was restored with all 9 stars, one of which was re-added after settlement on one of the previously uninhabited islands. This decision demonstrates the flexibility and reasonableness of the Tuvalu government, in order to clearly and truly express the meaning and history of this country. The Tuvalu flag is not only a symbol of power but also a symbol of the perseverance and determination of a people. It is a symbol of solidarity and change, carrying within it the beauty and strength of this small country in the heart of the vast Pacific Ocean. The island nation is on the brink of destruction. Tuvalu, a small island nation in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, is facing extremely serious challenges. With a total area of only about 26 square kilometers and no source of fresh water, Tuvalu must rely on food aid from the West to survive. This results in tons of food being sent in, contributing to a huge pile of trash that has no technology or resources to deal with it. In addition, Tuvalu also faces an even harsher context: old vehicles and an unfinished US World War II-era airport. These things cause the island nation to be increasingly buried under piles of plastic and metal waste, with all efforts in vain in solving environmental problems. But Tuvalu's biggest challenges don't just come from everyday problems. This country is on the brink of destruction due to climate change. Rising sea levels are increasingly devastating the island nation's few remaining arable lands, causing coastal houses to be abandoned due to flooding. This is where climate change is not a prediction, but a harsh reality. Scientists predict that within the next 50 to 100 years, Tuvalu may disappear due to coastal erosion and rising sea levels. The image of Tuvalu's foreign minister standing amid rising sea levels, with water up to his knees, is a symbol of overcoming a desperate challenge. This photo spread on social networks, providing a clear view of the unequal battle that Tuvalu is facing. Tuvalu is not just a point on a map, but a story of the perseverance and hope of a people. This is a poignant reminder of the importance of protecting the environment and taking decisive action to preserve our planet. Difficult economy. Tuvalu not only faces natural disasters but also struggles with serious economic challenges. With a narrow economy, Tuvalu tried to establish a development investment fund in 1987 but was later paralyzed by economic crisis problems. To solve the financial crisis, the International Monetary Fund has given Tuvalu more than $2 million to reduce debt, but with a budget deficit of up to $7.4 million per year, this amount is really just a drop. Water in the Great Sea. During the 1990s to 2000s, the Tuvalu government made creative efforts to find sources of revenue. Their rental of phone numbers with country code 688 brings in more than $1.6 million per year. However, this decision has caused fierce opposition from people who believe that the phone number belongs to the country and must be used to serve the common good, not to lease for other purposes. Commerce. In 2000, following these controversies, the Tuvalu government stopped leasing phone numbers and declared that the country could only last a few more years before running out of funding. This once again shows Tuvalu's weakness in the face of economic and environmental challenges. Tuvalu, with all its limitations and difficulties, is a symbol of the resistance and resilience of a people in the face of extremely harsh challenges. Their story is not only about loss and hardship, but also about hope and determination in the struggle for survival and life. Economy. Tuvalu, a small island nation in the Pacific Ocean, has had an unexpected and creative journey in using its resources to rise up in the storm of the digital world. By winning the jackpot in the field of domain names, Tuvalu has brought international fame to itself with the TV domain name extension, considered one of the most memorable and attractive phone numbers in the world. In 1999, when the TV domain name was standardized internationally, Tuvalu attracted the attention of large media corporations to the capital, Funafuti, to negotiate the use of this domain name. After losing an important source of revenue from leasing phone numbers, the Tuvalu government made a strong decision by signing a $50 million contract with the American Parasite Group, allowing them to exploit TV domain name for 12 years. This agreement has not only brought Tuvalu a new source of finance but also strongly boosted the country's GDP growth, helping the government have more funds to develop electricity infrastructure and establish scholarship and training funds. Create a new generation of young people. With intelligence and strategic vision, Tuvalu is not only a small country with limited natural resources, but also an exemplary example of how to effectively exploit digital resources to improve people's lives and create opportunities for sustainable development in the future. Tuvalu's success lies not just in selling domain names, but in its ability to turn small opportunities into great achievements, bringing hope and development to a nation full of ambition and determination. Interesting things about Tuvalu. No fresh water. Tuvalu, with a harsh geography and limited resources, especially in terms of fresh water, has had to overcome challenging natural challenges to survive and thrive. With an area mainly made up of land and flooded areas due to rising seas, Tuvalu has no rivers, streams or significant sources of rainwater. Freshwater sources mainly depend on deep drilled wells, but also have salt problems due to saltwater intrusion. This makes agriculture here very little, with people only able to grow crops such as coconuts, bananas and taro. In 2011, when Tuvalu faced a severe drought and no rain, the government had to declare a state of emergency. New Zealand responded by airlifting fresh water and desalination equipment to the small island nation. This action saved the lives of thousands of Tuvaluans, preventing an impending humanitarian disaster. Tuvalu's story of survival is not just about overcoming natural disasters, but also about the solidarity and support of the international community. It is a symbol of the power of human will and love to overcome all challenges of life. This proves that, even under the harshest conditions, humanity can still create miracles when they stand together and act as one. The island nation has no COVID-19 epidemic. Tuvalu, with its beautiful white sands and vibrant coral reefs, is one of the lesser-known destinations due to its remote and secluded location. Every year, only about 2,000 tourists come to this small country. Tuvalu's only airport has only 2 flights arriving each week, on Tuesdays and Thursdays. However, like many other countries in the world, Tuvalu cannot avoid the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic. The number of flights has been reduced, with only 1 flight every Tuesday. This is a result of social distancing and travel restrictions to prevent the spread of the virus. Tuvalu officially closed its borders in early 2020, to best prepare for the fight against COVID-19. However, due to remoteness and limited information about the epidemic situation here is not widespread, and if someone is infected, the ability to access treatment will also face many challenges. Tuvalu, under its unique geographical and cultural features, remains an attractive and outstanding destination, offering visitors an unforgettable experience of charming natural beauty and serenity of life. Island nation. Westernized primitive lifestyle. The primitive life of the people of Tuvalu is slowly becoming westernized. The majority of residents here are farmers, living in small villages with only a few hundred people. They take care of the gardens and hunt and fish using traditional manual methods. Tuvalu has undergone strong westernization, however modern amenities are not common and are only available in the capital Funafuti, which has a stable electricity supply. The country has no mainstream press and satellite television requires high-cost subscriptions. Official information is usually transmitted through the country's only radio station. Tuvalu's traditional culture is alive through its distinctive dances, performed at important community events such as weddings, birthdays, parties and festivals. These cultural features are not only interesting but also an integral part of the daily lives of the people of Tuvalu, bringing a strong and special bond to the community. Limited traffic. Traffic and transportation in Tuvalu is an interesting topic when it comes to one of the few countries in the world without a rail system. With a small land area and unsuitable terrain, railway construction will not bring economic efficiency to this country. In the capital Funafuti, there is only one main road stretching from north to south. Traveling this narrow road only takes about 15 minutes, but you can see the sea on both sides of the road. The main means of transport for people here is motorbikes, which also reflects the lifestyle close to the sea, which is an indispensable part of life in Tuvalu. This country's only major seaport is the connection point with the outside world, where goods and people are traded and interacted. The simplicity and rarity of the transportation system in Tuvalu is not only a cultural characteristic but also a point that attracts the attention of tourists who want to explore the wild beauty of a small country in the middle of the ocean. The airport sounds its siren to clear the runway. In Tuvalu, the only airport in the capital Funafuti is the connection point to the outside world. Originally built by the US Navy during World War II, this military airport has been converted into a commercial airport, serving just 2 arrivals and departures per week. With a small country area, Tuvalu people have made creative use of the airport. In addition to using the runway for airplanes, on the remaining days, the runway becomes a beachside park. Both local residents and tourists often come here to experience walking, riding motorbikes, watching the sunset and relaxing in the fresh air of the island nation. Funafuti Airport's runway is very narrow, only a few meters wide at some points, and has no protective fence. In the early evening when the temperature has dropped, this is the ideal time for residents and visitors to enjoy the beautiful scenery and pleasant atmosphere of the sea. Activities such as soccer and volleyball are also very popular here, providing a way for people to relax and bond with each other after a day of work. Funafuti Airport is not only a tourist attraction but also Tuvalu's only cultural and sports center. This fun meeting space is only interrupted when the plane takes off or lands. At this time, everyone followed the routine of clearing the way for the aircraft to operate. The story of Tuvalu's life and culture, with the airport at its center, gives listeners a sense of closeness and familiarity. This is an indispensable part of their lives, where simplicity and creativity combine with the natural beauty of the sea and everyday life. The video ends here. If you find it interesting, remember please like and subscribe to support the channel. Now say goodbye and see you again.